Boutique Pete here. We're at the Nordic Rum Fest, the first year's run. We have a great honour of having Daniel with us. Daniel, this is your show.
Yes, quite indeed. Yeah.
So, why do it this year? Why now?
Okay, it's been taken for about 6 years ever since we did. I think we met in Miami Rum Fest some 6 years ago. Since I saw that show, then I've always had the notion of bringing a high-quality international rum fest to Copenhagen.
It's been a good weekend so far. Thank you very much for having us. So, Denmark particularly, is this a microcosm of the rum world, or is it a very unique market?
Yes, I mean, Denmark is obviously a very small country, like 5.5 million. You know, we don't have a lot of people in volume, but the good thing is that the people actually here drinking and enjoying rum. We've been geeking rum for quite some time, so the nerd level, I think what I would call it here in Denmark, is quite high. They do like the rum, and they do like the flavorful rum, and they do like it with less water in it. If we look at it at a historical level, then obviously, I mean, the reason why Denmark was ever great was obviously because we're good at building boats and ships. If we go back in time, obviously we've been sailing forever. So obviously rum has been part of what have been sailed on ships. But aquavit, and obviously because if you think aristocracy and the officers in the Navy, they always preferred brandy and the cognac and the whiskeys because they were seen as a higher quality products. Rum in itself has had its history primarily actually through production in Denmark, where we're on the Danish-German border, has a city called Flensburg, and in that city has been notoriously known for being one of the big import, what I call harbors for rum into Northern Europe, together actually with Hamburg, which is actually a fairly good, well-kept secret within rum. Hamburg together with Flensburg were two of the big actually rum areas, because obviously were two of the big harbors where all the rum would come in from the Caribbean. So in the history, yes, Denmark has touched upon rum, but I will say the rum craze we've had for the last 10 years is at a completely different level. People start having more notion, and where there's actually knowing about the product and what's inside the bottle more than anything else. We do have a huge sweet rum market as well, and that is also very much part of it. But here in Denmark, we haven't really said no to it because we all prefer it. A lot of people start there, but I think for most of us, it actually has a history of being. You may start in the very sweetener market, but at one point you kind of tend to go into drier and drier because you get fed up with a lot of too much sugar, basically.
So, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I'd say that in a microcosm, that's actually kind of the industry as well. We start somewhere, and then the industry develops, and we move on. I've done it on a personal level. These things happen. So, you've facilitated some wonderful discussion. You've shaken the pot well. You've got some really interesting top-level characters from around the world to come along and start panel discussion. We all know there's no one answer comes out of a panel discussion, but unless we have that discussion, we're never going to challenge ourselves. We've got to move the world on. So we're going in the right direction, yeah?
Actually, I must say, I think we've had, for a lot of us who've been talking about this for 3, 4, 5 years about actually, I think the best way to describe was today at the panel was saying the murky waters of the rum world that we as producers and promoters need to start helping making those murky waters clearer. And primarily because we need to watch out for the category, and we need to really be careful that the end consumer doesn't end up in a situation where they ended up feeling part of a scam, you know.
Work in progress. I tell you what, don't answer that because we know. So we're looking forward to inviting us back next year. That'd be really awesome if you do. Keep doing the same work, and I'd say just keep up the good work, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Peter, and thank you guys for coming.